Hello again. I've made no secret of the fact that I think that the scale of immigration to Britain has been disastrous and that there should be a complete halt on any further immigration. This is not because I dislike black people or those of South Asian origin. I don't feel any animosity at all towards individuals, but rather because I think that it has destroyed the character of my country, that it's damaged the culture of the country in which I was born. The difficulty is, of course, that part of the character of that country that I love is that it is a democratic nation. I believe very strongly in democracy, which is to say that we should abide by what the majority view is. The fact is, strange though it sounds to me, the majority of people in Britain are either happy with the current scale of immigration or would like to see it increased. I have mentioned before and quoted figures from the Migration Observatory at Oxford University. They are a respectable and objective body who keep track of matters relating to immigration, and they sometimes call the government to account when they see what they believe are dodgy figures. A year ago, they published some stuff about attitudes to immigration in modern Britain, and I will readily admit that I found their findings shocking. I provide a link to their research in the description to this video. The first figure is that when they carried out a survey in 2019, 56% of the population, when asked, wanted immigration to remain either at the same level or to increase. That's over half the population. 56% is quite a decent enough majority. I may disagree strongly with the majority of the population, but I can hardly expect to force my views upon them. Nearly 80% of those asked were either happy with mass immigration or only wanted it reduced a little. What can I say? I'm in a small minority. In the late 1960s and early 1970s, these numbers were reversed, and at that time more than 80% of people in Britain were strongly opposed to immigration. But that sentiment has been falling practically every year. At the time of the referendum on membership of the Common Market in 2016, it rose a little. Concerns about immigration reached something of a peak. But since then it's fallen in importance for the average person. As I say, most people are happy with the way that immigration is proceeding in Britain. When compared to the rest of Europe, Britain is very laid back about this matter. Countries like Hungary taking an extremely strong line, which I sometimes wish we in Britain would, but actually almost every country in Europe is more concerned about this than we are. This then is the conundrum which we who are dubious about the benefits of immigration face. We feel very strongly on the subject, and some of us think that it would have been a far better thing not to have allowed a lot of people from Africa, Asia and the West Indies into Britain. Set against this is the fact that most of those people who feel this way are also passionately devoted to the British way of doing things, which is to say a democratic process. So, that being so, and since only around 20% of people in the country want to see immigration reduced a lot, I'm not quite sure where that leaves people with that view. I've got no glib answer for this, but would be curious to know what others think. My own suspicion is this is very much a lost cause, and that however we might feel about it, that ship has sailed, and we must abide by the will of the majority, awful though that may seem.